Okay, let's talk about relationships, especially during the holidays. I think it's very easy for us to get swept up in family drama and social events and feeling like we need to meet expectations or show up how we've always shown up, or just get caught up in old patterns and conditioning and beliefs and stories. And it's really hard to break those cycles. That saying they always say, you think you've grown, you think you've changed, and then you hang out with your family. And I think that that can be true for any relationship that we feel very attached to or enmeshed with, that brings up patterns for us and that we find really hard to separate from. And in honor of the heightened experience we might have of that around the holidays, we are doing a little releasing ritual together today. And I'm really excited for it. It's simple, it's easy, it's effective, and we're going to do it together. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a small black candle, a small white candle, a piece of string, and salt or cinnamon. And you can use both if you want both. And for this ritual, I want you to think about a person or a behavior within you that you want to separate yourself from, or that you are ready to break bonds with or release in some way in your life. And this will be different for everyone, and really trust your intuition around this. Trust what comes up for you around this. And you can even journal about it if you want. You can write on your journal, what or who am I needing to release, and let yourself free write and see what comes to you for that. And this will be deeply personal. It's deeply personal for me, so I won't go into all the details, but for the sake of sharing this with you and for the sake of our ritual, we're going to say, I'm releasing fear, to keep it simple. So when it comes to rituals and magic, it's all about intention and energy. You have to be willing to go there, to feel it, to be present. If you're a disbeliever or you're already going in saying this is stupid, which you're probably not here if you think that, but maybe, because I think everyone can feel into this and everyone can benefit from this, but if you let yourself. Let's set up our space. So as you can see, we have our black candle, which is representing what we're releasing, our white candle, which is representing us, the string connecting the two, and then the cinnamon sprinkled around the base for power and potency. And salt is really impactful in this ritual too. It helps cleanse the slate, and salt is all about releasing. I just couldn't find my salt, and I tend to use cinnamon for all magic rituals. So with that, we are first going to state our intention and initiation for the ritual. We're going to state this and repeat it 3 times, and you will fill in the blank for whatever it is you are releasing. You can place your hands on your heart, just get yourself grounded and say, I now remove and release anything that has kept me bound to fear. I release fear and I call back my energy to the good of all and to the harm of none, and so it is. I now remove and release anything that has kept me bound to fear. I release fear and I call back my energy to the good of all and to the harm of none. I now remove and release anything that has kept me bound to fear. I release fear and I call back my energy to the good of all and to the harm of none. And so it is. So now we're going to grab our lighter and light our candles. And this part is important. You want to stay with this part of the ritual. You want to watch as your candles burn. This is why you want small candles, so that they burn quickly. You want to watch how they burn, how long they take, what shape they form, and when they reach the string and how the string burns. and just being present and aware with the process. And while you're watching, reflecting on what this person or behavior or pattern that you're releasing has meant for you and how it has shown up in your life in the past, how it has impacted you, how it has kept you stuck, and why you want to release it, and getting really clear on that and really understanding that. And understanding the importance of releasing it and separating yourself from it. Because in the moment we can forget that. And so when we are doing these rituals to release and reminding ourselves of why we want to release, we then have to hold on to that when we go out back into our life and maybe are experiencing moments where we're with this person or this pattern is coming up again, and we can remind ourselves, no, I released that. And of course, this ritual in and of itself will do magic, will help that process and will speed that along and pave that path. But also, our embodiment of the ritual is a key component. Say you're releasing a certain person from your life and you want them completely out of your life. You can't just then go and text them or answer their calls. You have to say, no, I did this ritual, I released them, this cycle, this bond is broken, and I'm not going to reach out to them anymore. You have to take those steps as well. And the energy of it is another reason why it's important to observe the process of your candles burning and of the string burning. Because the pace it burns, the way it burns, the shape, that is all a sign. That is all part of the story of this energy relationship. And your intuition can guide you on what that means for you. Someone else's string might catch fire and burn right away. Mine's taking some time. It is different for everyone, and that's just something for you to be curious about and observe and be present to. And it can take a lot of courage to show up differently in relationships. Like I said, we might think that we've changed and that we've grown so much, and then we get to a situation where we're reminded of who we used to be and we don't want to let someone down, or we're afraid that how we've changed will dramatically change our relationship, or they won't understand us. There's so many different things that can come up for us. But that change aspect can be really scary, and doing something different can be really scary. But that means that we're growing and we are here to grow. And it also means that we're connecting more and more to who we authentically are. And again, it can be really scary to show up more authentically when people in our lives are maybe not used to that or don't know how to respond to that. But that's not our job. Our job is not to shapeshift and mold ourselves so that we make others comfortable, or so that others can understand us, or to make ourselves comfortable even. We are here to show up as our full selves and to own that and accept that and embrace that. And you can do this ritual as often as you want. If you want, you can do it for the same thing, but I would give this time to simmer and settle and process and kind of seep into your reality and see what happens. But you can do this ritual for another thing that you're wanting to release. You can do it with friends. You can do it in ceremony. You can do it in an even bigger ritual with other components in your practice. And it also reminds us that we are capable of change and we're capable of transforming. And the fire is transforming the candles, and it's changing one thing into another, and we're doing the same. And remembering that we have the capacity to change and to decide to change is really powerful and really empowering. And so this holiday season, if inevitably whatever you're releasing pops its head back up and taunts you, remind yourself that you've released it, you've let it go, and you can make a change. You can do something different. You can show up differently. And when you're done with this ritual, you're going to want to journal about how it felt for you, what came up for you, how the candle burned, how the string burned, how long that took, any details, and anything that just comes to you intuitively and how you're feeling. And you can even check back in on this journaling and add to it in a week or a month or whenever you notice this coming up for you. Releasing is a process. We have to give ourselves grace for that, but also trust that magic is medicine.